up? How's it going? Nice to meet you, man.
Good to meet you. What, you couldn't find a Patriot jersey?
Original American Patriot.
Let me see. RG3.
RG3. We wanted to check out the TB12 training.
Got to get you to work by the looks of it.
Yeah,
You're pretty tightened up. Tightened up.
You know, it looks like there's a lot of rice on this, but it's tighter.
It's not.
Should we check out the cookbook? Yeah.
It's not a cookbook.
Oh, my bad.
It's a manual.
A living document.
It's a living document.
Okay.
You know, we have some healthy snacks that we do. There's, you know, some cereals, omelets, there's protein bars.
Yeah. I could do this.
You know, hopefully you can get what you want out of your life. Hopefully that you can accomplish your dreams and your goals.
I would like to look like Tom Brady. What do I eat? Do I start with the nuts?
That's helpful.
Yo, do you mind helping me sign this copy of Slouching Towards Bethlehem?
What is this?
I have a series of books where athletes sign, like, books by great female authors.
How's that?
That's great.
I'm going to be checking in on you. There's some pretty great restaurants down on the Cape.
Yeah, okay. Monitor the progress here. The titties have deflated this season. I've lost a little. It's been good. Can I catch a pass?
Yeah. Okay, don't drop it.
I won't drop it.
All right, you want like an easy pass that I'd throw like my daughter, or do you want to, you know, rocket like I'd throw to Julian Edelman?
Not the full rocket. Maybe like you threw to like a defensive end playing tight end.
Okay. All right, so go down and out.
Okay.
Say it.
Oh my God, I caught it!
Those are good hands.
Asians can catch.
Y'all in the wrong world. Okay, man. Welcome to Huang's world. World traveler. The food, good and delicious. Shanghai, Moscow, check out the pictures. Aluminium, MIA, London. The schedule fishes. Welcome to Huang's world.
One of the things that always strikes me when I talk to my white American friends is that when I ask them their background, they're very quick to say, I'm just white. But, like, you're not just white. We were all immigrants to this country unless you are a Native American. And the first place the original American immigrants came is Cape Cod for religious freedom and to escape persecution. And over the years, Cape Cod has become an elite tourist destination, exporting a type of very restricting American monoculture. So we came to Cape Cod to explore the idea of whiteness. And we want to understand how a place that once symbolized freedom and independence became a lighthouse for the projection of monoculture. How are you? Paula here is a food historian.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm very interested, especially in the vernacular foods of everyday people. Prying apart the pieces of cookbooks, reading between the lines, you can often learn a lot about what ordinary people were eating all the time.
Yo, that's a cool term, too, because, like, I'm interested in what people eat in homes, like your mother's dishes, your grandparents' dishes, that also don't make it onto restaurant menus.
Yeah.
So what do you got cooking over here?
Well, I'm cooking a dish called Plymouth succotash.
Uh-huh.
The main ingredient is hulled corn and beans. The corn is treated with ash, which is related to the Mexican way of using calcium hydroxide, cal, to treat corn.
Even in the 17th century, you see ingredients and techniques being used from Central America, Mexico, that migrated this far north.
It was adopted by colonists and became Plymouth's own food.
And so it's a poultry, pork, and beef stock.
Yeah, the native people would use deer and raccoon and whatever was at hand, but this became the sort of farmyard version. And interestingly, once it was printed in a cookbook in 1883, I think all the other versions went away because people wanted to have this sort of upright, recognizable American culture.
An American brand almost.
Yes, yeah.
You see this codification of food paralleling the codification of literature and the economy and culture in the late 19th century. Wow, this is awesome. I don't know how this ever became vernacular food. It looks beautiful. Honestly, it looks awesome. There's a lot of color and texture.
Yes.
And if you remove the corn, this would taste like any soup in a Korean restaurant, in my mother's home, in my home. But with the introduction of the corn treated with ash, now it's like my mom made tortilla soup. Everybody's life is like a beat. And your experience is kind of like a Wu-Tang track because there was 9 rappers that would jump on the same beat. But this bone stock is to like human culinary history what the Triumph beat or the Protect Your Neck beat was to Wu-Tang. And everybody can come along and put their radish on it or put their corn on it or put their potato on it. And like, that's how I see this stock. So we in Nantucket right now. You already know we got the game wrapped like a calzone. But the rest of this town is garlic knots. In the book business, one of the hottest times of the year to come out with a book is the summer. They need to have romance, they need to have drama, and they need to have summertime escapism. Arguably, the queen of summertime beach read books is Ellen Hildebrand, who's written 17 books on Nantucket culture. And we're coming here to her house now to have a little Nantucket soiree. So what do we got here?
These are little appetizers. I have burgers for your crew.
Oh.
And I have a deep fryer right here. We're gonna drop fries.
Oh, wow.
Then we're gonna make lobster salad.
Nice, nice. How many generations has your family been coming to Cape Cod?
Oh gosh, just 2, I guess.
Okay.
Our parents brought us when we were small.
Yeah.
And now our kids, they were born at the hospital, have lived on this island their entire life. They don't know any better.
Do you like growing up in Nantucket? Yeah. You are, in many ways, the queen of beach read.
That's right.
What is it about your books, you think, that have helped you kind of like capture the imagination of that demographic?
I feel like, on the one hand, I live this life. So this is not for you guys. I live this life every day. I don't always have lobster salad. I do a lot of times have lobster salad, but I don't always have lobster salad.
Yeah.
I live a life that a lot of people, I think, probably envy, and I have worked very, very hard to get there.
It's absolutely your life and real, but I think your readers have elevated it to this magical place.
Right, that's
that,
right.
You know, unfortunately, not everyone's going to get to come to. Do you ever wish sometimes that you live somewhere where you may meet more people or see new stores and things, or you really just like it this way?
I like it this way. I love it here, and this is my refuge and my safe place, and I mean, this is the life that we live, and I think for a lot of America, it's a fantasy, and it's enviable. And so when I'm writing about it, it's a way for me to give the American summer to people that will never come to Nantucket, or maybe they want to someday, and they should.
Cheers. Toast to Ellen, yeah.
Cheers. I can't imagine the people who don't love it here, but...
I mean, like, I looked online. Future does not have a tour date in Nantucket. I would have trouble living here.
Right.
Tom keeps calling to check if I'm eating carbs. Nantucket's lifestyle, it is very magical. It is mystic, but it's not grounded. And there's a real sense of detachment. I wake up every morning, I'm constantly checking the news. I'm constantly trying to stay connected. And in Nantucket, I don't know if it's because I have trash T-Mobile service, but it's pretty hard to stay connected out here. We were driving down this road and saw Timmy's roast beef in this shack. And I figured, like, if they're surviving in this shack, in this tourist town, like, the food's got to be good.
Come on back.
What happened to your Trump hat? Oh, here it is. Moved it
Right
back here.
there. You never know. You take politics out of the picture and then you just do food.
Yeah. I want to understand how people in this part of the country feel, because I see a lot of Trump stickers. And when I live in New York, Trump's the devil. And
you'd be ostracized.
Yeah,
You know?
and I want to understand why it is that people support him.
I mean, I'm a libertarian. I believe people should do what they want to do, free of other people's judgment. I think it's important that you do that. But Trump is just, he's a job creator. He wants to lower taxes, and there's not many opportunities for young people. A lot of us work off minimum wage or whatever the tips we get. You know, the thing is, more money people have, more people, they're going to go spend it. It's going to circulate, and people are going to be happy, and they're not going to clench to money because they don't, you know, they have it.
Did you ever read, like, Ayn Rand, like The Fountainhead?
I didn't. I want to read that.
I got into it, and I read it in high school, and I thought it was cool. But then the more I traveled and the more I saw things in the world, the reason why I don't think libertarian policies in Ayn Rand work is because not everyone has the same starting point. You guys survive on, like, blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh, yeah.
Working hard every day. But it's not fair that you have to start this far back.
Yeah.
You know? But the roast beef, extremely tender. You guys slice it really thin.
Come and cook it every morning.
Yeah. Inside round, medium rare, melts, no pull. Make roast beef great again. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, how's it going?
I heard you talking about Trump. I actually just was at his rally down in Florida.
Oh, why?
Can I sit
Yeah,
down?
sure.
First of all, we are, a Judeo-Christian country. We were raised on those values, and I'm Christian myself. They opened the rally with prayer before anyone got up and did any speeches.
I don't think this is a Judeo-Christian country. The Puritans came for religious freedom. And of course, they have religious beliefs and their values come from those beliefs. But they're immigrants. And then so many other people have come to America and built this country and contributed to it. I don't think this country belongs to any one person or one group.
When I say that, I'm talking about the founding fathers. In the back of our dollar, it says, "In God we trust." So we were built on that faith. I think we're losing the core values that our country was founded on.
When we talk about laws and we talk about America, we always go back 200 some years. But if me and you were talking, like, even about making a roast beef sandwich, we wouldn't be like, well, this, in 200 years ago, we made it that way, and we should do it that way as well. Like, there was no onion rolls back then. I try to think in 2016, what are our issues and what can we do? I try not to go backwards too much. I really appreciate you stopping by, so thank you. That we're wrap. I like it. Right in the driveway. In my ongoing quest to fit in Cape Cod, we're gonna come to Mahi Gold, meet the homie Max, and try to buy some clothes so we don't stand out so much. So this is the spot to get outfitted.
This is it, man. This is Mahi Gold. This place has sort of a little bit of everything, the old, the new, but this is where you want for quintessential Cape Cod.
We need some help because the whole
We'll
group
help you out, man.
looks like some bargain basement Chippendales here. Like this guy with the leopard vest, Dave's over here like the white hot painter. Getting off the wrong vibe.
Let's change that.
Dave.
Yo.
I hope you guys are sitting down. You're gonna get very turned. What was really interesting about being at Mahi Gold is the clothes are utilitarian. This fabric wicks away sweat. I feel great. I was hot and uncomfortable. Then all of a sudden I put on the clothes that I've seen as the clothes of the oppressor my entire life.
Right.
And I'm like, this shit is wild, comfortable in Cape Cod.
And what's really, really interesting is that this sort of way of dressing is pretty specific to this area.
Do you feel that pressure to conform to white Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture while you're out here?
Well, I'm a Jew, so I can't really be a wasp of being, you know, we're all borrowing elements of that culture. But I've definitely felt a shift, and maybe it's happening with my generation, you know? They're looking for exclusivity elsewhere, right? They're not joining country clubs.
They're looking for new activities, but they're not looking for new people or new ideas. I mean, you can go multiple days, a whole week here without seeing anyone besides white people. Because of your skin, you have a different experience and a different perspective. Sure. And it's very important to have that in any society, because if your perspective goes unchecked and unchallenged, I mean, how close are you to the truth? How hard are you working on yourself and your ideas?
Yeah, that's pretty f***ed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's super f***ed up, and it's
oh,
not...
Shit.
Something's wrong with your car?
I don't know. Oil. Temperature is pretty... Yeah, shit's overheating. Car's overheating. That's not good. Dude, I don't know what to do at this point. When we get to the beach, we'll let it cool off. Means we'll have some dinner. Like, the Cape is where I'll always come to have fun. The moment I'm driving from Boston, I hit the bridge, I could just feel like stress melting off of my body.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm happy on the beach with a bucket of oysters, a surfboard, and a bottle of wine. Car's dead.
We're wrapped. I like it. Right in the driveway. Yo, it's sizzling. You hear that?
It feels pretty hot.
Yo, Huang's World, stuck in the Cape.
So this is your first clam bake?
Yeah, I guess my first New England clam bake.
But I will say this, man, even though it's hot as hell right now, over that sand dune is ice cold rosé and Bud Heavy.
I like rosé.
And there's Harrison up there building the fire. Harrison!
Yo, what's up, man?
Harrison,
I'm Eddie. Nice to meet you,
nice
dude.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Getting the fire going now. We're going to do it on a new school with a wash bin.
Nice, just put it on top of the fire. Wait, Harrison, you cook in a restaurant and stuff?
No, but I sell food to restaurants.
You watch a lot of Top Chef? No.
You.
No, but you sell, what do you sell to restaurants?
I sell wild mushrooms and truffles.
Oh, I thought you were going to say cocaine.
Yeah. So we're pretty much just layering in the order of time it'll take to cook.
The things that take longer to cook, you put on the bottom. And then really, you're almost cooking the mussels and clams with steam.
Correct. Traditionally, clam bake is with rockweed.
You're bringing heat on the bottom, and then you're covering it with aromatics to steam it from the top. This is very intuitive.
Yeah, well, the clam bake really came around. I mean, cooking with fire on the beach, seafood, it's a Native American, really a Wampanoag.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it a Wampanoag technique. I mean, I'm sure Native cultures around the world have, you know, done something similar.
But it's cool to go back and look at the history, because it took them hundreds of years to develop these techniques, and there's a reason why.
Oh, yeah.
Some help?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. If you go back and you look at this, everyone contributed to what's going on in that pot.
Absolutely.
Native Americans, the original Puritans, the Portuguese, everyone contributed, and that's how we really win.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing to see. Yeah, exactly. This is America.
This is America, yeah.
Yeah. The lobster is so sweet and tender, but what I really like is he used the seawater to cook it, so it's in its own element, and the flavors really come out. Yo, Tom, you're gonna be proud. I'm not eating any rice. I ate all lobsters, clams, your mussels. No nightshade. I'm sticking to the TB12. God bless America, my home, sweet home. We we're here at a baseball game here in Yarmouth because baseball is America's pastime. And the move for baseball to be designated America's pastime really happened after the Civil War. Because after the Civil War, there's a huge move to create unity. And it made sense. But a few symptoms started to come out of it. And one thing you started to see was a monoculture that became extremely oppressive during that period, as well as huge economic inequality and wealth gaps that still remain in America today. One person we're going to talk to whose family's been coming to Cape Cod for 3 generations is Susanna Emerson, and she's going to talk to us about what she's seen through the years.
The Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators.
What is the history of your family? Because not everybody gets to come to the Cape for the summer.
So my grandpa was a banker, and he married my grandmother, who was kind of from this Delaware socialite family. And they made a lot of their money in chemical manufacturing.
Okay.
And they had a summer house here. And for the most part, the people who they interacted with were other people from really prominent families in their kind of local communities, and then all gathered here.
The American aristocracy.
Yeah.
They came to the Cape. They're part of the history here.
A lot of them, yeah.
And it's like by coming here, you rub elbows and you become part of the society. And it's very insular.
And you even look at the infrastructure, and like there's a 1-lane highway that takes you out. You can't get beyond Hyannis.
Did they make it intentionally difficult for people to come participate in this?
Yeah, exactly. And there's something that's soul-crushing about realizing that you're on the wrong side of that.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's no better place that distills that feeling, that like icky whatever it is, for me, better than Cape Cod.
But the cool thing, though, is that you're talking about it, and you recognize and you're aware, and people like you can do something about it.
Right.
You know, like you have your fashion line, and you want to employ all different types of people, and you want to make things for all different types of people.
I'm not going to apologize for loving Cape Cod, because I do, and that's a really genuine thing. I am going to take accountability for what that means for other people. I want to be honest with myself about what my lifestyle means in a broader context.
And the effect that it has on other people.
Exactly.
So you told us about this hurler burger I want to check out. What is this?
There are 2 donuts, and there's inside they're like jelly-filled donuts, and it's a cheeseburger inside that.
Oh, wow. I heard a lot about this hurler burger. Nice to meet you. Wanted to come try it. So it's a burger in a donut?
Exactly.
What's your favorite donut to put the burger in?
The hurler. The hurler has been by far the
no, I mean, like, which donut you like putting in?
The hurler. The hurler is the 4-ounce USDA grade A oatmeal patty. Cooked the exacting specifications, decoratively topped with 1 ounce of
No, man, I mean, like, what kind? Like a Boston
lovely
cream
cradled
donut?
in the heart of a jelly donut.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't wait.
Okay, good. What's your favorite?
The jelly donut is mine.
Oh, I'm going with his
what
favorite.
What he really meant to say was the hurler.
The hurler. All right, I'll do jelly. Hurler.
You want to do the hurler?
Yeah, we'll do the hurler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stitches on the fastball, huh? All right, hurler up. Well, welcome to the dark side.
Delicious. I would say this, it was a very well-cooked hamburger. Like, I wasn't that into dudes, like, shtick. Like, you know, his employees were like, I like the jelly. He's like, it's called a hurler burger.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's mildly oppressive. Do you know what I mean? Just to be like, dude, we get what you're saying. He reminds me of, like, my boss when I worked at Boston Market. You know what I mean? Who was like, don't put your hands in the sweet potatoes when you do ecstasy. I was like, why not? It feels pretty natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got to go sing God Bless America now. Yeah.
Fans, at this time, I ask that you all please rise and remove your caps for the singing of God Bless America. Fans, please welcome to Red Wilson Field, Eddie Huang.
Thank you, Your Honor, Dennis. I'm a very accomplished karaoke singer, so hopefully this goes well. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home. sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Please hello, a big round of applause for Eddie Huang.
Thanks, man.
What do you do for a day job?
I make sandwiches.
Give it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Sucks.
No, I tried.
You don't try shit.
No, I'm not doing comedian. I'm trying.
No, everybody's got their opinions anyway.
Hey, I didn't try to.
I talked to the producers yesterday. I asked them if this was legit. And that
What
was
do you
not
mean?
Legit, man. You don't know God Bless America?
No, I know it, but it's
Upstairs,
nervous
no.
up there.
I want to see the producers
Hey.
upstairs. I want to see everybody.
Hey, hold on.
I wanna see- I
I'm
wanna
not
see
trying to
everybody
make a
upstairs
funny
right
thing
now.
about it.
Everybody.
Fine, yeah, sure.
Singing God Bless America is not a joke. I was hoping that they were throwing your asses out of here.
I don't care who you are, dude, and what you run on a show. This is a family entertainment. This is not a comedy show.
I want you to know, I did not mean to offend anyone. I just want you. There's no intention to offend you. You guys respect
You
us.
cannot laugh. You do not laugh during God Bless America, ever.
I'm sorry.
We have veterans here. We have people that have served this country, and you should know that.
Now batting the first baseman from
Sir, we're not here to offend you.
And what happened?
I'm not.
What happened?
You got
Jersey.
You got nervous, man.
You got nervous?
Yeah.
You said you
You
were
never.
practicing all day.
I did practice. We have video of me practicing all day.
Well, I hope it was a lot better than it was out there.
I'm not a professional singer.
Guys, pack your cameras and get out.
Sure, fine. Fine. Bro, I don't think it was that bad. Did you?
Foraging has been a mainstay in my life.
I got one. I got a quad.
What's really interesting about Cape Cod is that every single town or city you go to in Cape Cod has its own feel. Come to Martha's Vineyard. It's very sure of itself. It has a confidence. It has diversity. And it really feels like the Brooklyn of Cape Cod. Despite dominant culture's best attempts to sterilize the Cape, the Wampanoag Native Americans have survived. They are the heartbeat of this region, and so many things that we call white or American actually come from this tribe. We're gonna meet Julie Vanderhoop, who's gonna teach us how to feed ourselves the way her family has fed itself, from foot to mouth for generations. Around the world, people know the quahog clam for clam chowder. It's a hearty clam, and you can really cook it and kind of beat it up a little bit.
Exactly. A lot of different tricks to it. Well, we'll do the basics and stick to more traditional route today.
Cool. Let's check it out.
Let's go.
How would you characterize Martha's Vineyard? It seems to be the one island in Cape Cod that Native American culture is still very strong in.
Very strong. This tribe, the Wampanoag, is probably about 1,200 people.
How is it that the Wampanoag have stayed strong?
Well, we are getting stronger, and it's very important for us to continue our traditions.
You do this a lot growing up?
Yeah, you know, foraging has been a mainstay in my life, especially since when I was young. We didn't pack lunches.
Yeah. This is cool. This is like school lunch. Like, oh, I found a beef patty. Wait a second. It would have been. Should I go shirtless clamming? Is that going to be more effective?
Yeah.
I got a quahog. Yo, I got two quahogs. I got another one.
Now I know why Obama vacations here. Awesome.
Yeah.
That was the most fun I've had in Cape Cod. All right, so what are we making? A clam chowder?
This is going to be a clam chowder with a clear broth.
Okay. You have a giant stone oven?
I've got my oven. It's a little preheating right here.
Hey there. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I'm Eddie.
I'm Buddy.
Nice to meet you. This is your brother Buddy, right? So Buddy, we heard a lot about. This guy is a fishing legend.
I fished the Martha's Vineyard Striped Bass and Bluefish Derby, and I've won 9 of the last 17.
Wow.
I won in 2002 with a 56-pounder.
So you like the Greg Popovich of fishing. Martha's Vineyard, it's not like reservation-style living. It feels much less developed than the other parts of Cape Cod.
One good thing about it is you got to have 2 acres of property to build on here, and that keeps it from getting built up. My sister and my brothers and I were fortunate enough for my grandfather to share his wealth in land and gave us our properties. It's a pretty special thing.
What was it like for you growing up Wampanoag in America?
It was so unbelievable how I got picked on because I was an Indian. Called me Tonto and Pocahontas and all the cruel stuff kids can do. And I had to take matters into my own hands sometimes because they were trying to bully me. And my father told me if I come home with my ass kicked, he was going to kick it again. So it was a hard time, but I had to do this by myself because I was the only kid who was going to help me out.
Yeah.
Everybody else was picking on Indians.
Sauteing potatoes here for the chowder.
And this is from her garden, you know. She does a lot of herbs. We got sage and rosemary.
This technique, is this a Native American technique?
From American Indian Wampanoag.
Oh, awesome.
Specific to this region.
Okay.
We have beautiful land and we can live off of it. And sustainable living is the whole fad of everybody. But
this is your lifestyle.
Yeah, this has been our lifestyle always.
Here's the big question. Do you watch Huang's World? Good show. Smells good. Wow. You know, most chowder you get super thick, super creamy. You look at a clear stock like this, you'd think it doesn't have the flavor of that thick, creamy chowder. But it is so powerful. The aroma, that's the most flavorful chowder I've ever had, honestly. And clear stock. The fresh rosemary is crazy on it. Julie, I would say we really put our foot in this soup.
That's right, we really did. 2 feet.
Yeah.
That's right. Nice pedicure.
You're gonna help me cut this collar
Yeah, the
off?
collar. Yo, this is Huang's World Cape Cod, and we at Max. Thanks, bro. Have a good day at school.
Good afternoon, reggae fans. This is Skip Henley, I'm the founder of WYOP.
The Soul of Martha's Vineyard, the Rhythm of the Rock. We're going live for a special occasion. We have a young man here with us from the Vice Channel. Eddie Huang is here as our guest today.
Thanks for having me, Skip. I felt out of place my entire trip in Cape Cod until we touched down to Martha's Vineyard. That's the first time I felt comfortable and safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I very much know what you mean. It's funny, we have a saying here is when we leave the island and you have to do it, you got to get on the plane and get on a boat. That's when we go back to America, because we don't have that stuff over here.
Yeah. What is it about Oak Bluffs that you love?
It's the greatest sense of freedom I've felt. A lot of it has to do with, the state of Massachusetts was the first or second to outlaw slavery. And that has carried over. We live on an island that's never had slavery. We're surrounded by that moat. It's essentially a safe place, particularly if you're a person of color.
Would you say that Oak Bluffs is a community that African Americans around the nation know about and kind of aspire to?
Aspire to, yes. Know about, no. That's kind of a new phenomenon. And it's new since the president started coming. But there are several other black resort areas around the country. But Oak Bluffs is the one that's endured, all of this time.
It's a real homegrown black community.
Very much so. I want to talk to you some more, but I want to let listeners get back to their reggae.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, keep it tuned in. WYOB 105.5 FM, the soul of Martha's Vineyard, the rhythm of the rock. Back to the music.
Nice.
I built this specifically to teach high school kids how to do professional radio.
Nice.
So we did it with a reggae format.
And the kids pick all the reggae songs.
They do all of it now. He's the program director.
Wow, so you get an education in radio and reggae.
Exactly.
I mean, that's really all you need in life.
Exactly.
What's it been like being on Skip's radio station?
It's a little different, but I like doing the radio station. It gives me a good outlet, you know?
His mom called one day, and she's crying, and she says, you know, this is so cool what you're doing. This kid never wanted to do anything before. Now all he talks about is radio. Yeah. That feels good.
What's the deal? Is this a bakery during the day?
To the front, it's a bakery.
Yeah.
So back in the late 60s, we could smell the donuts cooking. We were all stoned. So we'd all come over there and knock on the door and beg them, please, please, let us have a donut. Please, let us have a donut. So they finally started doing it.
What are we going to get?
Apple fritter and buttermilk.
Wow. There's some weight to this. There's like 5, 6 pieces of apple in here. Like, there's actual apple. You know, you get an apple fritter, just apple flavor.
No, it's real apple.
Wow. All right, y'all know you get apple fritter. Sometimes it's just hard and crunchy and dry. Look at that. Soft and it pulls.
How's it taste?
Like a real butt.
Yeah.
Well, fake butt, you just got a butt, no thighs.
Got some sugar in it, right.
This got thighs. So we were driving through Wellfleet, and we got a tip that Max has a 450-pound tuna they're about to take the collar off and sear for us. Wow.
So what we're going to do is you're going to help me cut this collar off, which is the best part. All right, so you want to hold your knife so almost as close as you can so you can come through on this other side and not puncture any of the flesh, and you're just going to
right
all
to
the way
end.
down, right to the end. You got it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at the fat.
Delicious. You the executive sushi chef here, Juan?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Mexico.
How'd you find your way up here?
Yes, they helped me out. They find me.
Now you're doing work out here.
Yes, sir.
Love it, man.
We do the H2B program, which is a huge part of the Cape Cod community because our labor pool is really small here.
Yeah.
We're lucky enough to find Juan and a bunch of other guys from Mexico that come up and help us out every year.
To hear a restaurant operator like yourself say, hey, we actually need people to do these jobs, that's important. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Let's eat this, man. Here it comes. Wow. Crazy. Broiled at 550 for almost a half hour. Once it's cooked, it comes out looking like steak. How fatty that tuna is. If you've had hamachi collar is great and it's firm, but tuna collar is so much more luscious and deep, incredible. This parade gives me hope that we can actually make America great again. CV, can you explain to us this outfit that you have on today? Because today is the day of the Provincetown Parade, and you don't seem like you're in the spirit.
I ran out of all my Boston gear, and I didn't do laundry, sadly. So I guess we're the PAs are grabbing us very
coincidental. You ran out of gear the day of the parade, and you came to work with this All Lives Matter outfit. This looks hateful, bro. All right, we're going to get CV an outfit. We have sent the AP because we need you in the 80s gay spirit. The last stop on this trip is Provincetown, because white monoculture doesn't just have an opinion about your race or your class, but also your sexual orientation. And Provincetown has one of the biggest LGBT communities in all of America. So today, it's the Provincetown Parade. We're meeting up here at the off-site kitchen for the canteen, and we're going to make turkey sandwiches here using Rob and Louique's kitchen. Definitely. What's up, Louique? this region's known for Thanksgiving, so that's why we're gonna make the hen rock turkey sandwiches. We spatchcock the turkey, roast the turkey off, slice it, use dark meat and white meat, make some stuffing, make my Hennessy gravy on top of it. Then we're gonna put some Munster cheese over it and press it like a panini. What brought you guys to Provincetown?
I moved to Boston to work for the Boston Globe's editorial page. I came to Provincetown on vacation, my 3rd week here. I met Loic my 3rd hour here in Provincetown.
Well, I had a small catering business that I'd started out of my little kitchen with my best friend, and one of our first dates was coinciding with this job I had.
You worked on your first date?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like Provincetown has always been the place in Cape Cod that's more liberal, more open.
I think what's cool is that it's fun, but it's also not out of control.
Today they may see an out of control day.
It's going to be pretty out of control. So today, right now, as we speak, 100,000 people are making their way to Provincetown, and they are all going to jam themselves onto Commercial Street. But Provincetown's outsiders, early status is what you're talking about, started hundreds of years ago. Like, this was the first place the Pilgrims landed, and it's known today as an LGBT community, but I think it's deeper than that. Like, there's a tradition of just sort of acceptance and a love of outsiders.
Yeah, beautiful. And thanks for welcoming us in here, man. Really appreciate it.
That's what Provincetown is all about. Like, that's what.
Yeah, that's a good example too.
Yeah.
Boom.
So I'm first?
Yeah, you first.
Okay.
And then I'll serve the boys. How is it?
It's really good.
What would the Pilgrims say about this?
You know, the Pilgrims should enjoy this, but seeing as what happened to this country over the last 200 years, they probably would not like this. Look for the familiar when I travel. I don't travel to escape. And I think that throughout America's history, what you see is people focusing on characteristics and cultural elements to try to define people as different and something to fear and something to protect yourself from. But what we should be protecting ourselves from is monoculture and the sterilizing of our identities. But this parade in this community, Provincetown, gives me hope that we can actually make America great again and get back to the values that we believe in, which is open-mindedness, open arms, and the idea that anyone can be American. Oh my God, how this mother... Dude. Yo, stop it. This, like, honestly, this nightshade vegetable thing, like, if I want to eat eggplant ice cream, I'm going to eat eggplant ice cream, all right, Tom? Stop calling me. Like, you're making me feel fat.
We got it. We got it. I know you guys will have me here all day. I got shit to do.